hands are the ones that execute, you know, the actual, like your vision, whatever comes out, you know, in my work through the hands. So that's why it's important. Plus, I don't want people. I like it when people mistake me for a man, or they don't know, you know, if I'm a woman. They don't know what sex I am. I like that. I've heard people telling me, "Oh, I just assumed, you know, just hearing the music, it's so hard and it's so rough and rugged that I just assumed that it's a man." And it's interesting to just let people run with their own assumptions and see how they've been socialized and how their brain is working.
Det handlar ju väldigt mycket om att det är kul att spela musik. Och alla som spelar musik och DJar, de vill ju spela för människor.
Det är nog min drivkraft alltså. Träffa andra och hålla på seriöst, som en stor studio.
Jag gillar att spela skivor. Jag kan transa loss hur mycket som helst på det. Det ibland fungerar som en meditation. När jag höll på med forskning mycket så var det ett bra break från intellektuellt arbete och bara få zooma in några timmar på, koncentrera sig på något helt annat. Det tyckte jag. Sen är det ju framförallt musiken. Jag är jätteintresserad av olika typer av elektronisk musik. När jag har spelat så har det ofta kommit fram, eller många gånger kommit fram tjejer och sagt att de tycker att det är kul att se just en tjej som spelar. Och att de själva har varit sugna på att börja spela.
Det är inte det att tjejer saknar drivförmåga eller liksom förmåga att starta klubbar, att DJ eller någonting sånt där. Det är bara att liksom de rätta förutsättningarna tycks bara inte ha funnits. Eftersom just killar har stort sett dominerat hela scenen.
Om man då skulle ha ett ställe och köra en jämn könsbalans. Det blir inte det här att det blir grabbarnas klubb efter ett tag som det ofta blir.
Jag tror att New York, eftersom det är en världsstad, så ligger de naturligtvis mycket längre fram när det gäller liksom klubbar och musik än vad Stockholm gör på många sätt. Och där måste det finnas många föredömen. Framförallt kvinnliga DJs.
Ja, det finns en levande musikscen i New York som helt klart inspirerar oss. I alla fall i vårt sökande efter förebilder för Sverige.
New York City.
Idea behind the Sister San Francisco and Sister New York City?
Yeah, I mean, it's very simple. We just wanted to promote women DJs and you know, just throw parties and try to get girls out there. I don't even know how many girls belong to Sister SF. I mean, there's like 8 core residents, and then we have a whole guest page that's huge because more and more girls like join us and their bios, and I mean it's important to form collectives, like different collectives where, you know, a whole bunch of people could come together and throw parties, and that way, you know, you can play and you can bring other people in and get to know other DJs, and it kind of puts you on the map, you know, as something or somebody. So in that sense, I think that's important. It's just about women DJs playing music. It's purely about the music, and whoever's into it is, you know, that's who we want there. The fact that it's a female DJ collective doesn't mean that it's easier to get gigs through us. You actually, I think that we're like a little bit more strict in that sense than other people.
Males are just show-offs, period. 100%. Men and women are socialized differently, and men are given a lot of encouragement. They take up a lot of space in a room. They feel entitled to things. They claim things for themselves. How am I going to portray my events? You know, am I going to put skinny clad women on it? It's also my responsibility to subvert this whole process in some way. To me, role models are always women that are doing different things, that are like
out there in fields that are not thought to be women.
Comes to mind is it's actually, in my opinion, easier to get work as a female DJ than it is as a male DJ, because there's so many male DJs out there. It's not really, it's more competitive. Whereas not to say that for female DJs it's not competitive, however, you have a little edge to yourself if you are a female DJ, because it's something that a promoter can hire you for because it sets you apart. It makes you differently instantly. Oh, you're a DJ, you play really hard, you play like a guy, whatever that means, but you're a woman. All right. For me, it was much easier getting work as a female and as a drag king. No, I never dressed feminine. I never dressed feminine. But the other thing about my being able to work as a DJ, as being a woman, was also too because I was a lesbian. So I was working in lesbian bars. So I had a market, if so to speak.
At least with my current setup, I have to haul around kind of a lot of gear. I can't imagine doing that in a cocktail dress and fishnets. So I wear my big sneakers and hit the road. There's still, I think, a lot of focus on what the men are doing, and that's too often normalized and not presented as problematic, that there's little representation of women on the scene. And sometimes I think that things are getting better, but I don't know, I still think too often in most media outlets women are treated as exotics or respected more for their looks as opposed to their skills. I mean, everybody's had some kind of experience, it seems, where they've showed up at the club to DJ and the person at the door is like, you're not the DJ, or where's the DJ, just because she's a woman. Or somebody coming over to tweak the EQ on the mixer, like not trusting that she really knows what she's doing. And then the other thing I run into a lot is women who are just tired of talking about the gender thing, or who really like seriously block it out and feel strongly about wanting to be recognized solely for their music as opposed to gender, which is how I feel too. However, I think as long as there still are gender stereotypes and a certain amount of gender discrimination, personally I feel like it does still, discussions like this still have to be on the table.
We saw this magazine here, Village Voice, where you were on the cover page. What did you not like about it?
Well, for one, they say, well, it must take a big set of ovaries to work all of that equipment or something, which is just so corny. And then they called me the Xena warrior princess of drum and bass DJs, which was also excruciatingly corny.
And what do you think of the styling here?
The styling is also excruciating. I mean, the hair is cool. I wouldn't normally. I guess it's just it doesn't look like me like on an everyday basis. So I'm not really into that creating a fantasy to sell something kind of vibe, which is, I mean, the makeup is like way overdone and the hair is overdone. And well, there's that whole exoticizing factor that really. There's so much stuff. I mean. Racism, exoticizing, which is really a form of racism, because it's really a form of colonialism, which is really a form of racism. But there's so much shit that really rolls off my back now, because I don't feel like I belong to that category, or could possibly even belong to that category, because what I do is so hard. I mean, there's no chance for it to be lumped into the exotic category, because I kill all notions of the exotic, but it feels like a sport. It's like, and then you think about it, the origin of the word disc jockey, and it's like a jockey is like someone who rides a horse. So it's like, in a way, it's like you're kind of riding these two records, and it's, it's...
Would you say that you have a DJ fetish?
I don't think I have a fetish, because I think a fetish is for some people who like sort of like something just because to like it, without like necessarily going deeper into the substance of what it is. Someone who fetishizes like an ethnicity or
a certain thing. I love my turntable, you know. I like it all. My turntables, I like the mixer I have right now.
I'm really into the needles. I love the Crossfader. I abuse it and use it and abuse it, and yeah, the Crossfader's the shit.
I really like my sampler, and I'm really obsessed with this concept of sampling in general.
I definitely had a DJ fetish. Yeah, I certainly did. You know, I definitely did. I would just buy, like whether it was records or gear or whatever, you know.
Om man ska välja en DJ-fetisch då är det definitivt basen. Jag tycker om basen och leka med den. Det är kul. Plocka bort den, ändra lite, dra in en annan basgång eller någonting från en annan, helt annan låt. Blanda ihop konstiga element, det ska vara roligt. Fågelkvitter i techno.
Tempoglidningar, när skivorna glider rätt och man får det att synka helt perfekt. Liksom. Det är klart det kommer igång på när det sitter. Liksom. Alltså.
Trummor och basgångar. Mycket energi.
Vad är det för DJ-fetischer?
Jag har ju inte så... Jag har väl... Det är väl... Hur jag juckar då. Jag spelar det.
Jag tycker väl att idealt så visst så tävlar man på samma villkor, tjejer och killar, men så är det ju inte, utan det är klart att det påverkar vilket kön man har, och det kan i vissa fall vara så att det är lättare för tjejer att få spelningar, samtidigt som det i många fall kan vara mycket svårare. Just på grund av att det är liksom killar, de känner mest andra killar som håller på och så vidare. Liksom. Samtidigt så kan man promota en klubb med att vi har tjej-DJs och så vidare. Så det går åt båda hållen. Liksom.
But it amazes me that, you know, how many people just don't even want to talk about it and really view electronic music as, you know, occupying this kind of post-gendered sphere, you know, this type of musical expression where gender doesn't matter. And I don't know, I mean that could be true, but I think the jury's still out on that one, or it's at least open to debate.